in God's name is going on in here? What was that ruckus?
What ruckus?
I was just in my office and I heard a ruckus.
Could you describe the ruckus, sir?
Okay, here's what I would have done. Bro, no one cares what you would have done. Actually, everyone cares. Welcome to Let Me Book the Territory, the podcast made for smart marks and nostalgia nerds. Brought to you by the Embrace the Turnup Podcast Network. And now your hosts, A-Dub,
BA,
E-Ray, and J-Mo.
Whenever you are, though.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the greatest wrestling podcast known to mankind. I am your boy A-Dub, the phenomenal A-Dub Styles, if you will. The Dub Shoe. And joining me as almost always, is the greatest high school football coach of all time. The new star of Quantum Leap, The Leap Again, BAP history, Black IRS, BA's in the building. BA, what's poppin', man?
Our tribal pod chief. We the ones. What's good? What's good? BA DiBiase in the building. No White Virgil this evening. He's out cleaning my cars or something. I took the Maz out tonight. Drove in here solo dolo for the fools up in here. Black Wall Street title in hand, all that fun stuff. So, gimmick never dies. But yes, it's your boy, BA Quantum Leaping all through history, making sure I quantum leap my way back in the present day here to talk some wrestling with my man, the tribal pod chief, the A-Dub, the Dub Show.
Yes.
So, yes,
Let Me Book
I'm
the
ready to go.
Territory.
Let's do it.
Back for y'all. We are the almost acclaimed, and almost everybody loves us. Almost. And E-Ray, yes, got jumped in the NXT parking lot again. I don't know why he keeps walking out there without security.
He just can't make it out, man. I don't know.
I don't get it.
Santos came back and dropped him off last week back with us. Ain't come back and get him. He was trying to see if somebody was going to swoop him up. And
then D'Angelo came and saw him, and it was like, yo, who dropped you off? It was like, oh, Santos. Yep. And they jumped him. Yep. I don't know.
And Damon Kemp saw him, hit him with a chair after they got done with him. It's all bad, man.
Rough.
All bad. All the heels coming for our guy, but he'll be back though.
We'll be back stronger than ever.
Yes, you will.
We got to give him the appreciation pop when he comes back. Maybe get the effects going and the claps and all of that.
All that.
Anyways, losers that aren't here aside, J-Mo, we are in a post-media scrum world of AEW. So first off, there's no real news that's come out of this post the scrum, outside of Kenny's apparently in Japan, I think doing some video game or something.
Of course, he's like the head developer of the Fight Forever game, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the rumors of the Bucks reaching out, which Meltzer kind of put a stop to because why would they reach out to talent when they have Triple H's phone number? But it's always been known that when there's another company out there, people put out feelers all the time. For example,
it's commonplace.
When AJ Styles' deal was coming up with TNA, he put the feelers out through Taker because Taker's wife and Styles' wife are really close, and apparently they went on vacations together and shit, which I never knew. And then that's kind of how Styles brokered the thing to talk to Trips. And, Trips being the guy that he is was just like, yeah, what? AJ who? $2 million, walk in the door, debut at the Rumble.
Easily.
So
Easy.
I imagine the Bucks are probably in the same type of situation. Not only do they have Triple H's number, but they're great friends with Kevin Owens. Yeah, I mean, they might still be friends with Cody. I don't really know how that fallout, affected
NDAs protecting that story.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
what are you thinking in this post-media scrum world as far as the immediate and the long-term future for AEW?
Well, Dub, I'll start off with I won't be offended that you said J-Mo because we're talking AEW when you started off, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna rip his head off. He didn't call me J-Mo. You did.
DJ Amo, I called you after the tag team.
I respect it. I won't be upset with that. Shout out to my guy. We miss you, J-Mo, but I know you'll be back. So I'm not gonna talk like you're dead. So anyways, yes. So with that being said, the association, like AEW, J-Mo, I get it. But as far as the post-media scrum stuff and the Bucks putting out feelers through Uncle Dave's little reporting and dropping the nuggets, I think that's just it's commonplace. These guys are sitting at home. They just want to. I liken it to let's say layoffs are happening at work, right? Uh-huh. And you think you're satisfied and happy, but you'd be a fool to not hit up your competition that you work with to say, hey, y'all hiring or looking around online. That's the equivalent of what the Bucks did and Omega.
It was just on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, man. Updating their profile. They just show that they're available for opportunities now. For our LinkedIn listeners out there that know what that's about.
Put a couple more achievements on their LinkedIn profile.
Can you endorse this skill for me, Dub? You know how it goes. So the Bucks are just trying to get their skills endorsed right now through the likes of Kevin Owens and Trips from the first time they tried to pull them guys over, and Omega from when he had flirted with going over there. But it's like you always say, Dub, yesterday's price is not today's price. So if these guys think that they gonna come up in here and try to finesse a deal through Trips, those three at least, they gonna have another thing coming, because it's not gonna be like when MJF's time is done contractually in AEW. They gonna bring back the Brinks truck up for that dude, because Trips is very much an old school guy, man, and I'm sure you're going to get into this too, but I'm kind of going to jump the shark a little bit, or jump ahead a little bit. I want to say jump the shark. That means our show's going to be not popular. Jumping ahead a little bit. As far as Tony Khan and his feelings about WWE and all that stuff, and being mad they were running shows the same weekend as them and all that stuff. Boo fucking who, Tony Khan? That's wrestling. That's old territory business, and Trips is
a weird thing to be mad about.
Guy. He petty, man. He's like a kid. Ashley's, whatever. He hangs out with the Ashleys. So how do you expect him to act?
Here's my thing though. The WWE makes their pay-per-view schedule in advance, far in advance.
Big facts.
You don't think that they found out, what Weekend All Out was, and then they decided a whim to fly across the fucking Atlantic. I'm not buying it.
I was gonna say, especially for an overseas show, those guys don't just roll the ball out and hope for the best. Those are planned out a couple years in advance.
Yeah, they signed 10-year deals for those. I'm pretty sure the dates or something close to it is always in mind.
Yeah, of course. So I think that's just Tony crying sour grapes in his feelings, and I'm sure he doesn't come out, and I'm positive he does not come out of all of this scrum stuff looking good. He just looks like a child in a room full of other children. There's no grown-ups in there. But the reason I brought that up is about the MJF stuff and Triple H trying to kind of bring back the Brinks truck up for him, is because of the fact that Trips is going to try to throw bags at the guys that would hurt leaving them the most, as far as trying to squash them and make them. He won't ever. He's just his father-in-law. He's learned from his father-in-law very well. He's never gonna address them. He's never gonna talk about them in a positive light or negative light. He's just gonna kind of just say they're there, and then in the behind the scenes, he's gonna be doing everything he can to squash these dudes, in my opinion. So I think this is the beginning of what we're gonna see from Trips, is when these guys become available. And I wonder about Miro and Andrade as well, because I think that at least Andrade would be welcome back. I don't know about Miro.
Oh, yeah.
I would hope. I just know Trips is closer with Andrade, but I'm sure with Rusev too, / Miro. So, but you're going to start to see those guys start to fall off of the Tony wagon and see that the grass wasn't as greener as they thought. So yeah, man. It's very intriguing stuff.
For sure. I mean, I think obviously you got to take aim at the top guys because you want top guys because, you know, WrestleMania is a 2-night, 12-hour extravaganza now, so you need as many top names as possible.
You mean they're not going after Marco Stunt? Sorry, I had to say that.
Exactly. But I think there also is something to like weakening the army, like depleting the bench, if you will. Like if Andrade's as unhappy as I think he is, if Miro's unhappy as I think he is, if you can pluck Anthony Ogogo out of there and put him in NXT for 3 years, oh, you might have something there because that guy can talk.
Yeah.
That guy can talk.
He's entertaining.
He's British, so that leans more to that crowd. Like,
True.
dude, I'm telling you, like, if you can really teach him to wrestle, oh man, you would have something with that guy. Like if you can get a Keith Lee back in a few years. If you can get Adam
Keith
Cole
Lee can stay where he's
there.
at. Keith Lee can stay where he's at. He can stay over there.
You're not a Keith Lee guy?
I am a Keith Lee guy. I just think that he would fit. He's better suited and booted in AEW right now. That's just me personally. I mean, he can. I just want to say he doesn't. Everybody don't need to come back because Tripp said, "Come back home, y'all." Some people can kind of stay where they at. That's why I say that.
I think a lot of them should come back.
Well, I mean, since you think a lot of them should, who do you think should stay? With that being said,
Who should stay?
yes, who should stay in AEW? That was one of these Stanford bred, Orlando bred people.
Nobody. Like,
But do you think that's gonna realistically happen though, Dub? Like, I mean, I hate to be cynical, but I mean, do you like everybody's not gonna be wanting to leave? I mean, creatively speaking, people get upset, but also people get that are. Do you think the bag is that serious? I should say. I'm kind of speaking around. Let's get to the point. Do you think the bag they're getting in AEW is worth staying for versus what Trips is gonna provide for them?
here's the thing though, like they were all getting bags in WWE, and like no one that left WWE outside of Jon Moxley was unhappy. So there you go. Jon Moxley should stay.
Okay.
The Hardys should
I
stay.
agree. Yeah, especially Jeff. Jeff is AEW. So
Jericho should stay. Jake Hager should stay.
he shouldn't even be there either. He should just go somewhere out of wrestling, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad if FTR stayed, if we're being honest.
I think they should stay as well.
Because the idea of them just traveling around in different promotions and collecting tag belts, to me, that's a cool thing. I like that.
It's dope.
Daniel Bryan should stay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Because if he doesn't want to really be a top guy, if he just wants to hover around the top and help out newer talent and help out that women's division, which he's been doing a phenomenal job of,
yes,
he should stay. But all those guys who left NXT as part of budget cuts or what Vince had planned for them were fucking insane, they should all come back. Because clearly, as you can see now, as they're bringing people back, I think those budget cuts had a lot more to do with, hey, there's a lot of money missing, and we got to kind of tighten the belts a little bit until we figure out why all this money is missing, because Vince wasn't sharing where this money was going. You get what I'm saying?
I completely read between those lines.
You know, like, if you're doing the books and 15 million is gone.
That's like 10 wrestlers.
Yeah.
I just put that together. Damn.
Do you get what I'm saying here? Like,
that's like, and then if we talk about those tier guys, that's like 15 wrestlers. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get what you say.
I don't want to be that guy, but when I look at how quickly they brought guys back, and it was like multiple guys in a span of weeks, and then they're talking about more. At that point, I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying budget cuts anymore. I'm just not.
I was never buying it in the first place. I thought they was just being greedy, like trying to make sure the margins was fat as possible and didn't care.
That's the thing. Like, as someone who, like, I'm a big anti-American capitalism type of guy. I think capitalism is one of the worst things in this country. It's the root of most of our problems. Capitalism and racism, the two isms. But I exist in it. I'm trying to get my money. Exactly.
Yeah.
Capitalism is always, the anti-capitalism people always say that record profits are always unpaid wages.
Yes.
WWE's had record profits for the past 5 years. Yes. So you have the record profits for the past 5 years, and then 15 million comes up missing.
Yeah, you got to wash that out.
Time for budget cuts. So that's why I say I don't believe any of it. So
man, that's a lot of money to just be paying chicks off for.
Anyway, can come back. Swerve can come back. Andrade can come back. Malachi is probably going to be.
Swerve can stay too.
Swerve probably could stay.
And disclaimer, listeners, I wouldn't be mad if these people ended up back in NXT. I'm just trying to speak from. I'm all about personal growth. All right, I'm not all about passing, following the fad and the trends. Y'all should know that by now. I'm very much a contrarian at heart, and y'all know as well. I'm not a big AEW guy. That's some hard shit to watch sometimes, for me at least. But I can kind of see the value that some of these ex-WWE guys bring to that roster as fucked up and conjingled and jumble-wired and all kinds of nonsense that looks like sometimes. I get it.
Swerve can stay over there.
Swerve can stay. I got a point to bring up about Mox and DB. You kind of, or BD, whichever way you want to look at it, that you kind of went into. But I wanted to talk about them particularly after we kind of go over the lay of the land of AEW.
Obviously, the big one, Adam Cole need to come home.
Yeah, I can't even fake on that.
He gotta
one.
Come home.
Yeah, I hate how he's booked over there. And I understand he kicking it with his girl, he kicking it with his OG homies. I get it, but you cannot knock. And he has to see and feel how great that whole UE run was, and him just being that guy. He can't ignore that, man. Like, and how he's being booked now, like they're not like making him look cheese, but he just don't look like how he used to look. Like, he had a whole different swag and demeanor about him.
They spent 4 months like robbing him of all the cool he had.
Yeah.
And then they gave it back to him for a couple months, and he got hurt. Then he came back again, and then he has this very serious concussion, which, you know, all prayers to him. Hopefully he comes back.
Yeah, man.
And hopefully he's just healthy in general. Yeah. But like you look at just the way they were booking, you're like, yo, it's come home, man. Come home.
Yeah, he needs to be.
I don't blame him for leaving for, you know, according to what they had planned for him. But you know, the times they are changing.
Yes, they are.
But what did you want to say about DB and Mox?
I was gonna say, man, I was thinking about this earlier today, just about their trajectory and how they've been in AEW versus the things they had to fight through in WWE. And I was gonna say, this may be controversial, but I don't think those guys will ever leave that company, ever. Those are cornerstone pillar guys, because of the responsibilities they're being given. They had to fight for that responsibility in WWE. Dean Ambrose wasn't allowed to be anybody if Seth and Roman wasn't there. That's the only time they really gave Dean Ambrose some real shine. They would put the title on him here and there, make him do some stuff with the main eventers here and there, but never to the level of how he's being booked here. And I know you hate this song, Dub, but I pop from fucking Wild Thing, man. I love that shit. I love it. Every time I hear it, it takes me back to childhood. I'm a Cleveland kid. Cleveland Indians, Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn. That's why they threw that gimmick on him, because it goes very well with his whole little demeanor. So I love Mox's growth that is taking place in AEW. That's one of the few things that you'll ever hear me say positive about AEW, is just how they've kind of strapped their rocket to him, and he's showing up.
BA loves AEW. He said it here.
I ain't gonna say all that now, but I respect and love how they're giving him the keys, and he's earned at this point, especially with the stuff that happened with the scrum, and he thought he was going on vacation, and they hit him up that Monday like, nah, dog, you ain't going to the airport. We need you for a few more weeks. I respect the hell out of that. I really like that's the very shiny silver cloud in this whole doom and gloom of what happened a couple Sundays ago. And you can say the same about Bryan Danielson and the fact that he's lifting that women's division up like he is, because there was some bad booking in that division before he arrived.
Still some bad booking.
Yo, it's E-Ray, the quasi-bad guy, the Diet Coke of evil, the side god of pod, and I'm here to tell y'all, come check out my show, Binge Flicks and Chill. You never know what you're going to get, but we always talking some good shit when it comes to television and the latest movies. So we want to bring y'all in. We want to make sure you have a good time. You learn something, you laugh, you cry, you might stab a nigga or two. I don't know what you're going to get, but that shit is popping. So come check out Binge Flicks and Chill. And it's me, E-Ray, and I'm out.
I was about to say, we still got work to do, but it's not what it was in year one of AEW. I didn't know what the hell I was watching in that women's division in that first year when I would cut that on. And I can't even, I'm trying to say it as nicely as I can, but that was not wrestling. It was a bunch of sideshow nonsense going on.
I think
very Divas-esque.
I think DB will come back at like the very end of his career. Like he'll come back to have that Mania go home. And like when he goes home, we'll never see him again. Like ever. He'll disappear the way Andrew Luck disappeared.
Okay. Andrew Luck. Okay. All right.
That's the type of like never see him again that we'll get from DB. He won't do autograph signings. He won't do PR. He won't even sign that Legends deal. He'll just say, no, I'm going home to raise my vegan babies and do whatever else vegan thing he does.
I want to say I disagree so bad, but I can't because his wife is a Hall of Famer already in that company. So that's where I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. They're gonna tie that back to the Bellas, and he's gonna come back home in that way. Plus, Vince isn't there anymore. It's his guys are running the show. Trips and Shawn Michaels, guys that advocated for him heavily. Mm-hmm. So I can't knock that. I don't think Mox is ever coming back. There's not a reason for him to come back. Even though he doesn't necessarily have beef with the guys that are running the show there, I just don't say he's kind of like, I feel like he's going to make his own way. He's going to be one of those guys that when you think of AEW, you're going to think of Jon Moxley and then whoever else. He's going to be their guy. So I don't think he'll ever come back and taint that for a very long time. He may be somehow Hall of Fame recognized at some point because they put everybody in. But I don't see it happening like how they would for Bryan Danielson.
They don't put everybody in. Randy Savage still ain't in.
That's because of you know who did you know what, and you know, we ain't gonna tell. That's between them and them.
Keep it between me and you for now. But to quote Hove on a wrestling podcast,
shout out to Blueprint One.
They said I couldn't do it. And I said,
everything is wrestling, tribal pod chief. That's why.
Boom. There it is.
Yes,
well, since we're talking Moxley and DB, do you want to run down the Grand Slam card? Since obviously the next time we record, it'll have happened already.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's get into it.
So apparently it's both nights of next week, which I did not know. So you know what? Let's go in reverse order. Let's go. Okay. Let's book night 2. Night 2, we got Action Bronson and Hook versus 2.0, Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. I don't see any way in the middle of Queens you would bring in Action Bronson to take a L. So
agreed with Hook at that as his side. That ain't happening.
Did you see the promo that they did?
No, I did not see the promo. I just saw the run-in that he did a couple weeks ago. I didn't.
So during Dynamite, they did like a little black and white training montage with Bronson and Hook in the ring, and much to my chagrin, they were doing up downs, and like I had flashbacks of football, and I was like, I can't do up downs. It was pretty cool, Bronson's looking brolic. Next, we got Sting and Darby Allin versus what's left of the House of Black, Brody King and Buddy Matthews. No DQ.
I'm gonna have
so Sting will be hitting people with bats.
Oh yeah. I could see Sting definitely beating up on some dudes. I could also see. I hope we don't see another. It's not a pay-per-view, so he won't be jumping through tables. I would pray to God not. So
Darby?
Sting.
Oh, Sting. Okay.
Darby's gonna fall through a table. Darby's gonna throw his body into somebody, and he's definitely taking the pin. So with that being said, Buddy Murphy's team's gonna win, hands down.
Buddy Murphy, Brody King.
Yes, Buddy and Murphy and Brody King, hands down.
Okay.
Darby's got to take a pin.
Here's my problem with this match. At some point, Sting and Brody King are going to be in the ring at the same time. I don't know if there's enough weed in this world for me to smoke, for me to believe that Sting, at damn near 60, stands a chance to stand across from Brody King, who I haven't even seen him in person, but he looks like the most intimidating human being I've ever seen.
Yeah, he looks scary as hell.
Which, to the contrary, I got friends in the indie wrestling world now. They tell me he's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, shout out to Brody King, because he was supposed to be at the show that you were at, correct? But he had something else come up. So
I think he got pulled.
Yeah.
I think it was like a small injury, but, AEW didn't want to risk it because he is a top guy there. Going towards that path.
Absolutely. Nobody that they can risk work, and no offense to the indies, but nobody that they can risk doing that, and then he has to miss a pay-per-view because of some random injury or some big show that they have. So I get that completely. But yes, that man looks scary as hell if I were to see him in real life. But to the point of shout out to Young Rock and go listen to our episode on Binge Flicks and Chill with E-Ray. Bam Bam Bigelow, how he was depicted on that show. Nicest guy ever. But we
grew up watching Bam Bam Bigelow.
I was about to say,
we would not have believed that at all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Not the nicest looking guy ever. The man had a tattoo on his head for hair, so that just tells you what you need to know. But yeah. That does not shock me that Brody King would be the nicest guy ever looking like that.
Speaking of guys that I've heard are actually pretty nice in real life, Samoa Joe and Wardlow versus Team Sterling, which I'm assuming is Tony Nese and...
It's not Smart Mark, so I don't know who it could be.
Tony Nese and insert Steve here, I guess.
J-Mo, where you at? Tell us who's his partner. Come on. I don't know.
We're going Samoa Joe and Wardlow.
You have to. Tony Nese is here to job.
When's the last time Samoa Joe defended that TV title?
The last week was the first. Was it Rampage? He brought it on the show. I was the first time I've seen him with the title in like months.
Samoa Joe need to come home.
Bruh, you know what? No, I'm gonna say no. No, Dub. No, he does not need to come home.
Samoa Joe need to come home.
You know why? Because somebody has to represent Ring of Honor, like with some, like outside of Claudio, like with some
Dalton Castle and the boys. Your true trio champion.
He somehow brought the motherfuckers up. Damn, Dalton Castle and the boys. Nobody want to hear that shit, Dub. No. I think Samoa Joe, if they would get Ring of Honor a TV deal, you would be seeing Samoa Joe every week. But it's hard when you got 30 titles, right? When you got 30 titles being defended amongst this promotion, it's
amongst
hard,
3 hours of television.
It's ridiculous.
I agree.
Ridiculous.
Oh, and don't forget the other guy in that match, Wardlow, has a title too.
Oh yeah, I guess He'll have it on him. He won't be defending it, I guess. So who knows? It's ridiculous, man. We just like the titles are like props there. It's very funny.
Speaking of titles, TBS Championship, Jade Cargill versus Diamond T. There's no reason I think Diamond T would beat Jade Cargill at all. Jade Cargill is going on like a Goldberg type streak, but actually talented at wrestling.
Yes, it won't hurt anybody. Hopefully, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx her. But yes, the fact that she didn't take that L that I predicted to Athena. Thanks, Athena. I almost had the hunch, but thank you, Dub, for taking the L. Yes, the fact that she didn't lose to Athena, tells me that there's pretty much nobody that she's gonna lose to unless when Thunder Rosa comes back, they have her go after her instead of going after the AEW title if she's still holding it.
Which would be
I don't know who's gonna come
idea.
in here. That's all they got at this point to book them out of this. This is like worse than the Roman mess over on the other show. So she has to win. There's no way that they can make sense of her losing to this chick. So yeah.
All right, night 2 that neither one of us are probably gonna watch is booked.
No.
You're welcome. And now we're gonna quantum leap back to night 1. See what I did there?
Got spacula.
There it is.
Spaculin.
Or new Asian guy, whatever his name is.
PC woke quantum leak. I love it.
BA, are you gonna do like weekly quantum leak reviews? I need to know.
That'll be for the possible Patreon page for BA's Untitled Movie Podcast show, coming to you in the winter / spring of 2023, folks.
Oh,
so yes, that's y'all got to. You might be producing it. You don't even know yet. But yes, I don't know, man. Fuck that show. I'm so E-Ray will attest. Our only quantum leaping man is Scott Bakula, aka Scott Splacula. So unless this Asian dude is named that, we don't got no holler for it. So yeah, leave our hits alone. Stop remaking everything, please. Jesus, please.
All right, here we go.
Man.
First match on this card, we're gonna book Claudio Castanoli versus Chris Jericho for. I guess this is like the runner-up to the tournament for the ROH World Championship.
It's ridiculous.
I don't like how they book that.
And you know how this happened, Dub? Jericho was on commentary for Claudio's match last week, and he said, "Oh, that's a title I haven't won yet." That's where all of this came from. So that's the reason why Jericho's in this match.
But then Jericho was also in the AEW World Title Tournament and just lost to BD. So it automatically devalues the Ring of Honor Championship. Like, well, you lost that tournament, but here's your bronze medal. Here's your participation trophy, if you will.
Here's your loser bracket title in your fantasy league, Dub. That's what they're treating that as. It's quite ridiculous, but this is what happens when you have 30 titles on a promotion and you can't have them all held and pristine because there's 30 of them. And when you have 30 fucking titles like that, it's hard to make all of them matter. So something has to give. And unfortunately, they're making the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title have to give in to this ridiculous oversaturation of titles in this promotion. So yes, That's why.
Next up, we got the transatlantic slave trade. Oh my God, I hear children screaming.
Oh yeah. Shout out to my daughter, Journey. Thanks a lot.
Oh man. The All-Atlantic Slave Trade Pacific Island Railroad Championship, Pac versus Orange Cassidy. I'm going Orange Cassidy here. I don't know why. It just feels time. Even if he only holds it for like a week or two, it just feels fun. It feels time. Especially with Ethan Page coming after that. It feels time, just move that title a little bit.
I can't even be mad at that. As much as I want to. If they're going to put it on somebody in the firm, shout out to Stokes. Ethan Page said that's what he's looking for. He kind of, and this is why like all curtains being peeled back behind us. Dub sent our group chat a screenshot of somebody stating that that Stokely is going into business for himself and only putting himself over. Bullshit. The man said not only that these are his guys and these are the titles that they're going for. So what do you want from him, guys? I'm sorry he's entertaining and people like him. I feel like that was some hating stuff, but I had to say that. But to your point, he said he was coming for this title. So there you go. Go get that transatlantic Underground Railroad Salvation Army title and put it on you proudly, brother.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, and I think like Ethan Page taking that belt off with Orange Cassidy is a better booking than Ethan Page coming after Pac. You get what I'm saying? Because Pac is kind of tweener. He's just a really angry guy at all times.
Yep.
I don't want to see really angry guy versus chicken shit heel who's a really good wrestler. It's just not something I'm interested in seeing.
I agree.
Now, Ethan Page, like, being the chicken shit heel and just being somebody who just doesn't like Orange Cassidy, it works as a better story. I mean, I'm not sure if they're interested in telling stories yet. Lord knows. But we'll find out. As the American Cream, Brody Loadz has joined us from his new podcast studios. Looking brolic. Got the ring light set up. What's up, man?
What's going on, Brody?
Nothing much, man. We heard you got jumped in the NXT parking lot again. We weren't sure if we were going to see you.
Yeah, you guys got to stop spreading that rumor. It's acting like my hands don't work or something. Like, that's weird.
I didn't. Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing about getting jumped. There's always one person who's not going to want to talk about it. Yeah, so when the D'Angelo family jumped you, 2 stacked dimes, he probably didn't want to talk about it. I'm sure you gave him a 2-piece and a biscuit.
That's like the narrative,
Tony
like
D'Angelo,
3 months straight.
Collegiate wrestler. He got you down and then hit you with the elbows, but you're here now. I'm here now. All right, so here we go. So I was in the middle of booking. We were in the middle of booking the transatlantic super save trade, travel all around the world, get kicked off of the planet.
The Tub title?
Yeah. Yes. So we got Pac and Orange Cassidy, and for no real reason at all, I'm just going to go Orange Cassidy here. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Ethan Page. That's what I'm thinking. Give me what I need.
Tice tits in the biz.
Yes. Orange Cassidy is not going to win. He never does. He never wins any titles. I love him to death, but he's not winning. It's kind of like your younger brother when you're playing a video game. Like back in the day when you had like a younger sibling and you playing Mortal Kombat, you beat the shit out of them.
Controller in.
Yeah, you beat the shit out of them, and they like, he's like, well, you should be better. Be better, and they're not. So you win all the time, and that's essentially what is going to happen here. Orange Cassidy's going to get his ass beat. It's going to be a pretty good match. It's going to be fun, but we already know what's happening. And right after that, Ethan Page comes out, declares him and the Firm get it in, and then that's how it goes.
I like that booking. I like that booking, sir. All right, let's see. Well, I just navigated away from my page here. Here we go. Yeah, next match on this.
I'm trying to tell BA that you guys got to stop spreading this bad narrative. This is me controlling my narrative, guys. I'm actually on vacation, so I'm not even here.
What, you lynching motherfuckers? What you talking about? No, I'm sorry. Sorry. You said stop controlling your narrative. I came in here pretty hot.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm controlling my own narrative by just letting you guys know, hey, let me book the territory, Legion, fandom. E-Ray's not continuously getting jumped in the parking lot. My hands work. This is not how that works. Like, you guys gotta come up with a running joke every week. He's just like, nope.
That is the running joke.
He got beat up
in the NXT parking lot. Yeah,
every week.
It's like
he just
in
got
radio.
Beat up.
The classic, like in sports radio, they always say somebody's suspended. He's suspended or whatever when he's just like taking a day off or something. So that's our version of you getting suspended.
If it keeps going every week, you gotta get more creative. Like, okay, first he got jumped in the NXT parking lot. Then maybe Santos Escobar took him on a ride, and they did some great Colombian. Next you gotta take us on a road journey here. Like, we just can't get beat up in a park. That just makes for bad booking. That's like some Vince McMahon shit. Like, I wish my car was here.
Brooklyn Brawlers out here though. That do make us look like the Brooklyn Brawlers of podcasting. So I can't disagree with that.
It's crazy.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to clear that up, guys. I'm going back to my vacation land, but have a great pod. Love you guys. And I'll see you guys soon. Let me book the territory. It's happening.
Oh my God, E, is that Karrion Kross trying to choke you out? Oh my God, E. Oh
no! Fuck!
Oh man, sorry for that technical difficulties, listeners. I had to turn into dad BA for a second. My daughter was going out of control, so I apologize for those technical difficulties. If you hear
You know, it's
screaming,
funny how
that's
you
just
like
my daughter.
you fight sleep as a kid, and as an adult, you can't wait to go to sleep at all times.
Man, I think about it all the time when my children tell me that they're not going to sleep. I'm like, I wish somebody would tell me to go to sleep. I'm like, really? Who's going to do my work? You're going to do this? Oh, you're going to go coach the
BA is
football for me?
bedtime.
Cool.
For real? Bet.
Right. Run that pillow and blanket, please. Yes.
All right. So as E-Ray got choked out, we decided we're going to book this AEW interim women's title match, which they got to stop calling this shit interim. Like, if you can't defend your title, you lose your title. That's what it is.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Smiles, a.k.a. Hip Hop Adam Schefter, a.k.a. LaJosh James, a.k.a. for all the ladies, the Chocolate Sauce Bandit. You already know what it is. Tune into an Audible Ruckus every week. And don't forget to check out my 2 shows at Shot vs. Smiles and Music Impulse on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, whatever. Tune in. It's your boy Smiles, and I'm out.
The most hardest hitting wrestlers in the business are interim and vacant. They always win a title every year.
Vacant is the most decorated champion of all time.
Yes, he is, man. Shout out to Vacant. Always holding the title of some nature.
All right, here we go. So we got every woman that was in that tag match on Dynamite: Toni Storm, Serena Deeb, Athena, Dr. Britt Baker. Why is Athena in a world title match when she just lost a TV? See, this is the shit I be talking about, BA. Like, nonsensical fucking booking. If you put stories to things, you don't have to just throw people in fucking matches. Okay. All right. Woosah.
I understand. I had to take my deep breaths. You take yours, my friend. As you take your deep breaths, I'll try to make sense of this booking nightmare that they're getting themselves into. So we got a four-way.
Give me the winner of this match and who takes the pin.
Man, I have to say Dr. Britt Baker is pinning Athena for the reasons that you just described before you had to take your deep breaths.
Because Athena's just gonna keep taking L's.
I think that she's gonna be your new Ruby Soho, guys.
Because she left NXT and WWE because she didn't want to keep taking L's to like the girls they were trying to train up and put in better spots. But lo and behold, in the same fucking position.
Yep.
I like some people who left WWE. To me, it kind of looks like they was just running from the grind. And guess what? Same spot.
Yeah. Seems like
grass
a lot
ain't
of
always greener.
No, it ain't.
Grass ain't always greener.
You gotta water your grass sometimes.
Sometimes your spot is just your spot. You gotta realize it.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's as green as it's gonna get. We can't all have the nicest lawn on the block. Can't be that way.
But when we win a championship, everybody gets a ring.
Yes, sir. Or 30 rings in this case with these 30 titles. But anyways, yes.
I see what you did there.
There we go.
So I'm going Toni Storm, pinning Serena Deeb.
Complete opposite.
Yeah. I don't see any reason to pull this belt off of. I don't see any reason to pull this belt off of Toni Storm right now. And I think, and Athena's just there in my opinion. She's just wallpaper. I think you see Jamie Hayter get involved, and we kind of kickstart this Britt Baker Jamie Hayter feud, and the winner of that is going to be the one challenging Toni Storm kind of going forward. And I think what you book forward is you see Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter resuming their rivalry, but this time it's for the big belt. Because Hayter gets past Britt Baker, and then Toni Storm, she has the belt now. And also, I think Toni Storm is going to turn heel in her victory over Thunder Rosa. Had that injured Thunder Rosa not happen, I think Toni Storm is turning heel.
Yeah,
because I think they want to turn Jamie Hayter face.
Yeah, and that's the perfect rival for her to do so. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think with a rock star type gimmick, you can always flip that back and forth between heel and babyface. You mean babyface, you're just you're just really cool. or you can be heel because you can be a fucking asshole rock star. It just works.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm going with Toni Storm. Serena Deeb should take the pin because she's in her 40s.
That was very ageist of you, Dub. Because she's in her 40s.
Why have some of your young corrections? She's not in her 40s. She's only 36.
Damn, Dub. Don't do that to her.
Like she's been wrestling forever.
Because she has been, but she started wrestling when she was like 18, it sounds like.
She was in the legit straight edge society. She's been there forever.
That was like 12 years ago. So that checks out. She just started in the game young.
All right, here we go. Next match on this card. My apologies, Serena Deeb. You're not in your 40s. You are
sorry, Professor.
A young and vibrant 36. All right, next on this match card. Anyways,
he didn't even believe that.
And shut up. Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed for the AEW Tag Team titles because everyone loves the Acclaimed. I'm going Acclaimed here. I don't think there's any secret if you're listening to the pod. Big Acclaimed fan over here. I think they're white hot right now. You have to pull the trigger.
That scissor me daddy shit has them over heavy. I see people like there's kids doing it, man. I've seen kids doing the scissor me daddy stuff. And I thought kids didn't go to this stuff. Prove me wrong. But yes, everybody is loving the Acclaim right now, like you said. As much as I want to fucking disagree with you, Dub, I can't. I just literally read an article before this podcast started about Anthony Bowens being the first openly gay champion in AEW. So yes, this is all teed up for them to win.
I guess he would be, yeah.
Yeah, it's all teed up for them.
Because I'm sure he's not the first. He wouldn't be the first openly gay champion in wrestling. I'm sure there's been.
No, others. They said they preference AEW in the article.
Yeah, but I guess I want to say major wrestling. You get what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Because Patterson was he was the first Intercontinental champion. But yeah, well, not really, because everybody in wrestling knew. Just the rest of the world didn't know.
Though. When he was, but yeah,
okay, they knew when he was wrestling too. But the rest of the world didn't know. Not that it's our business or anything, but it's something Anthony Bowens can probably put on his mantle. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, he's very proud of it for sure.
Yeah,
which is dope.
I'm going with the Acclaimed. I don't see any reason they should lose this.
And I'm even gonna say one more thing. I'm gonna add some icing on this Acclaim cake. Swerve's gonna turn on Keith Lee to make it happen. So yep, you're gonna see some tag team mishap to create this win. So yep, that's how that's going. I think Swerve's gonna officially lay on that heel side of the tweener vibe he gives off, and him and Keith Lee may have a little tiff after all of this is said and done.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
So I see it happen.
I kind of just want them to go their separate ways because I'm interested to see a heel Keith Lee.
I don't think you're gonna get a heel Keith Lee out of this because Swerve's such a tweener. He's so you can. To me, Swerve's just leans a heel. More heavier on that heel side.
Yeah, to me, Swerve's just a heel that just Hit Row got so over because they were just so cool that he ended up being kind of tweener. But to me, everything Swerve does is heel. From the way he dresses, walks, talks.
Yes.
He's just heel. He's just heel when he gets over it in kind of in a Stone Cold Kevin Owens type of way. He's a bad guy that does bad things to people, but you're fuck, he's cool.
Right, yes. He's very much carries that Stone Cold Rock 99 vibes as far as him. Just it's cool to people not love to hate him, but love to love his heel, his dastardly heel deeds and tendencies. So yes, I agree. But I don't like you were saying, you want to see a heel Keith Lee. I don't think you're gonna get it out of this unless he somehow does the big turn and he creates the rift to make them lose the titles. I don't see it happening, which I don't see happening. It would be cool. It would be completely out of left field, which AEW can it's known for. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but I just don't.
Can we
see
talk
it
about
happening.
how great that Swerve in Our Glory Lucha Bros match was?
Oh, it was amazing, amazing. It's fun stuff.
Keith Lee taking that Destroyer.
Yeah.
First off, that's something Vince would never allow. He would
Hell
never
nah.
allow his big guy to do something that didn't scream big like that.
Nah. That's why him and Vince never vibed, because Keith Lee wasn't a traditional big man. Like, he could do a bunch of the stuff like the flippity flip shit. And that's Vince was like, he didn't care about that. Didn't pop him at all.
Yep.
So yeah, but for that's when you get the glimpses of like, I fucks with AEW, because that's the only place you'll see that. You won't see
Facts.
that in the WWE ring.
Facts.
So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and it kind of like, it makes me wonder, because like the rumors like before AEW was like even a thing, is that Triple H wanted Penta heavy, but he didn't want Rey Fenix as much. Like, he wanted to sign him, but the negotiation was, yeah, we need Penta. We need him here now.
But that's a
Like,
package
what-
deal though.
Right. What would Penta be in WWE? Like, because if I'm being honest, and guys, we're not gonna do too much. We're not gonna do probably any Raw or SmackDown talk.
Nah.
Ray is a shell of himself at this point. And the thing is, Ray can still go at an extremely high level. Now Ray is just punch, kick, trip, 619, drop the dime. He can still do so much more. I saw his match against Rey Fenix, and it was one of the best matches I've ever seen in my entire life. Same thing with
I don't
his
think
match
Ray's allowed
against Prince Puma in Lucha Underground. Prince Puma, aka Ricochet.
I don't
But,
think
yeah,
Ray's
like,
allowed to wrestle that way, Dub. Anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Why,
yeah,
he's not allowed to take those crazy
It's-
bumps anymore.
That's why I would say like that. That's where AEW serves its purpose, for like to let guys who can just go, just fucking go.
Yeah,
They would do well to have a cruiserweight title in AEW. But again,
did you
they
just suggest another
They already
title
have too
in
many
that
belts.
goddamn promotion? Did I just hear that? They need another title.
I mean, they could just get rid of the All Atlantic, slave trade title and make that the cruiserweight title.
They could, or just book it like that. They don't even have to make a big
Yeah,
presentation
true.
about it.
They could just book it like that. You're right.
They could just
100%.
kind of just book it that way and kind of let it be. I don't think that'll happen, because we're talking about Ethan Page, who is not a cruiserweight, taking that strap off of Pac. But they would. That's what AEW becomes a problem, because they have to have the smarts to do that, and I don't think they have the smarts to do that, Dub. They have to announce and make a big old production out of everything. So, yep, there's your 31st title right there, the AEW
You're welcome,
Cruiserweight
guys.
title. Good Lord. AEW.
Hey, and that's a title that people want to see on TV.
You would hope and think. I don't know, man. I do you think, this is a good question, do you think WWE brings back like a cruiserweight or light heavyweight title before AEW? Because I think WWE will. Because they had a whole goddamn show around it that nobody watched.
So Trips, yeah, I watched it.
Of course he did.
It was only an hour.
Right before he watched NXT UK, he would watch 305 right after SmackDown.
Okay, I never watched 205 live, except for the one time I went to SmackDown, and I was like, well, all right.
So I can't cap.
here.
When I went to SmackDown, I watched it too. I was like, well, shit, if they can just go record it, I'll watch. I can't cap.
I'm
I
here.
watched it in person.
But no, yeah, I used to watch 205 live. Like, it was a Saturday morning thing, 205 live, and then allegedly NXT UK. Allegedly. Not saying that I know all those guys that are getting ready to come over, but I do. Anyways, what were we saying about this? Oh yeah, Acclaim won that title.
Yes,
Next we got, and then we'll move on to our main event of the show, the AEW World Title. Book it out.
All right, man. I kind of alluded to this in our group chat earlier today, but I think that they have about like a 35-40 minute banger, John and BD. I think that BD's gonna win the title. It's gonna look like everybody's gonna be celebrating. Everybody's gonna be happy. Lights gonna go out. That music gonna play.
Yeah.
Yep. And he gonna come out, bring that chip out, give it to the ref, ring a ding ding. He's gonna beat the shit out of a tired, wasted BD. But it's not gonna be like some quick like squash like when you see people cash in the money in the bank briefcase or something. They're gonna wrestle for like a good 10-15 minutes. Bryan Danielson is gonna give you that whole BCC vibe. Like, I'm tough. I'm not gonna just lay down and let this movie win the title. And then you're gonna see the Firm come out and further help out MJF win this title. And then next week on Dynamite, you're gonna have the coronation ceremony of MJF and the best promo that you're probably gonna hear this year. So there you go, folks.
All right. E-Ray's gonna hate me. But I agree fully.
Oh, he agreed. It wasn't my idea. E-Ray don't come for me.
Like down to the details. I agree fully. And I don't think there's any other way Tony Khan should book that.
There isn't. If he wants people to forget about 2 weeks ago, this is the only way we gonna forget is to give MJF this crazy run. And this is the only way it can happen, man. Make these dudes the Firm versus the BCC. Let's go.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
I'm with it, man.
All right, so lo and behold, we have agreed yet again. But BA,
I think we've agreed somewhat today. We haven't been agreeing about it.
We've disagreed a little bit.
There's some things we have not agreed.
On the big one, we agree, and I'm sure E-Ray's going to yell at us quite a bit.
But is that our fault, though? I don't think this is our fault, Dub. I think we can blame this on TK because he doesn't really have a choice. And I think Ethan would agree with us as well. I think he would. I don't think, because John Moxley's going on vacation. They've said it as much. Nobody can keep their mouth shut in this company. That's why we know this. They be helping us smart because a Mark runs the company. That's what they say. Like, the smart marks know everything because your company is ran by a smart mark, the smartest and richest of the marks.
He's the richest of the marks. He's not the smartest of the marks.
No. Yeah, I should definitely retract that one. That's the richest of the marks. Richie Rich, Mark, Khan, with that said. But yeah, how else do you book this, man? That's what I'm saying. E-Ray, you can't even be mad at us, bro. You can't be mad at us. There's no other way to see me book. Only way it can go.
All right. Hard transition.
We got an anniversary to celebrate.
We do. But first, more Bloodline goals. They capped off their anniversary.
Yes, they did.
By putting more gold in the Bloodline.
Some way.
Were you
low key until I saw the post from Mello. It all tracked once I saw that, because when I saw it happening in real time, I was just like, whoa, like, they about to do this? So is he gonna defend this title on SmackDown? Like, we taking the A championship up to the big leagues? Like, it didn't really check out, because I feel like Solo's a tweener now. We don't know what brand is like. Is he in NXT? Is he rolling with the Bloodline? Is he just showing up Fridays and Tuesdays now? Like, what's going on? What's the haps? So, yeah, man, I did not see that coming. If you couldn't
put the context clues together, the main event of NXT this week, the anniversary of NXT 2.0, was Carmelo Hayes cutting a promo. He had jumped Wesley earlier in the night, so Wesley couldn't challenge for the North American title. And then who shows up but Solo Sikoa? They have another great match because Melo doesn't have bad matches.
No, he does
Solo gets the W, gets it clean.
Yes, he does.
And then at the very end, as he's holding up that title, he holds up that one. Because we the ones.
Man, and big cousin Oos had to been very proud of him. As soon as he entered the Bloodline, first time he had a chance, he took some gold. These dudes got all of it. It's insane.
They was on the plane back from Cardiff, and Roman leaned over to him and said, "Hey, you got unfinished business in Orlando. Go finish it." Whew. You got chills, didn't you?
Do you think he leaned over to Sammy and said the same thing? Hey, Sammy, you got unfinished business on Raw. Go handle that fat motherfucker Kevin Owens for me. Do you think he said that or no?
I like the way you think. Are you as excited as I am to hear Jey Uso yell at Sammy this week?
Oh, I can't wait, man. It's like they're like real life cousins. I love it. They're like real life bickering for that top spot. Like, you don't belong here type shit. So it's amazing.
There's going to be a lot of good things on SmackDown this week, but that's literally the only thing I'm excited for. Just to hear Jey Uso yell at Sammy to get a title.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Smiles, a.k.a. Hip Hop Adam Schefter, a.k.a. LaJosh James, a.k.a. for all the ladies, the Chocolate Sauce Bandit. You already know what it is. Tune into an Audible Ruckus every week. And don't forget to check out my 2 shows at Shot vs. Smiles and Music Impulse on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, whatever. Tune in. It's your boy Smiles, and I'm out.
Yes, and shout out to Paul Heyman, who gave honorary Uso Sami Zayn some recognition that he's been fighting for on social media. So good job, man. Wise man.
Love to see it.
Bloodline rolling. Love it and rolling in all the gold. It's amazing.
Love to see it. So we got one of the NXT titles heading over to SmackDown for a little while before Solo drops it to whoever. But BA, it's been a whole year of NXT 2.0. As someone who was not an avid black and gold guy, what have you thought of this whole year of this NXT 2.0? More color, more characters, new talent. Give me your thoughts just as a whole of the past 365.
It's kind of a lot of different thoughts and emotions, Dub. I'm not gonna cap. Even though you coined it as me not being a black and gold guy because I wasn't living and dying with each weekly episode, I still watched it. And E-Ray will attest, that's what attracted my eyes back to focus heavier on wrestling, because the War Games takeovers would pop me heavy. Them shits were amazing. Reminded me of Wrestle War back in the day. That's why I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, this is Triple H doing this? Amazing. I didn't know anybody but Undisputed Era for the most part, but they were the plug back into everything. And that's where I got interested in everything again. So with that being said, when I found out Black and Gold was going away and we were going into this 2.0 venture, I was completely turned off. If we go back in past episodes, when I first started appearing on this show, you guys had to talk me into watching 2.0 for the first time and being like, give it a chance, BA, and report back. I haven't stopped watching since. So that should tell you that I definitely think it's a good product. But however, like I said, there's a lot of different things I feel about this product versus the old one. The amount of characters didn't necessarily bother me. I like the different personalities they would just interject because this is their developmental and it makes sense for people to just appear out of thin air. That's cool. But also before they created Level Up, I felt like a lot of that talent, at least when I jumped in like February, March of this year, needed to be on that Level Up show before they were on 2.0. So that's where I say like they did some good things. Like as far as 2.0, what they represented, the North American Championship, still keeping that a strong title like it was in the Black and Gold, if not making it stronger in my opinion, because that's usually the opening title, the opening matches involving that belt or the grind for that belt, 2 guys going for it.
Yeah, I still think that's the best book title in like all of wrestling right now.
It definitely is, man, and I hope they keep it going. I think I have all the faith in the world in Sean to keep that going. But on the other side of it, like things that I'm just kind of was questionable on, which I think that are kind of going to get a little bit better now because this is more of Vince and Bruce Pritchard were running the show. The ridiculous characters that that aren't gonna pop really in a mainstream eye, so to speak, as far as people that watch Raw and SmackDown. That's kind of like the things that like. I love her. She's bad. She's a great personality. I think you kind of know where I'm going here. But the Wendy Chu character, I don't think that gets over as well as it does in NXT over in SmackDown and Raw land. But that was back when Vince was running the show. I think that they would integrate that more in a responsible manner as far as making the gimmick make sense and not just throw her up there. Plus, she's not ready yet anyways. But I don't think like that gimmick is just kind of just silly. It's funny, it's silly, but that's where I feel like it was like 90s WWE meets NXT Black and Gold. That's what I feel like the hodgepodge of all the different multicolors of the 2.0 existed. Because you had the new generation mindset with all these ridiculous characters, plus the wrestling that we remember from the Black and Gold because Shawn was still in the building.
Okay, nah. You know, like, I think Wendy Chu could work up there. Like,
now, but not with
Vince how long has R-Truth been doing his comedy shtick?
For about 15 years now, give or take. Keeping it going.
Like, I think there's a way to do it, but I mean, I don't get me wrong, I agree. Like, there's some stuff that's not going to translate. Like, as much as I love Pretty Deadly, yeah. Well, no, Von Wagner's going to translate. He's just a big guy who beats up people. They seem to not let him talk.
And Vince is WWE, yes, but not Trips. Don't buy Von Wagner.
But like
Trips world.
I worry about like a Pretty Deadly because I think there's a lot of nuance in their gimmick. So like I think when they get up to the main roster, they have to take a lot of care with that gimmick to get it over, and not especially in Middle America because those people are.
And by the way, Pretty Deadly was prominently featured in their 2.0 anniversary little promo that they ran. I just wanted to say that because you were talking about how they were NXT UK guys, and I was like, they're more like being shown as like the flagship guys now. So that's why I wanted to say, like, I saw it and I was like, in my mind, BA was right, goddammit. That those are fucking NXT guys, not NXT UK guys, the way they're being looked at and booked. But I just want to throw that out there as we talk.
But A-Dub was right when A-Dub told BA to watch NXT 2.0
See, why we gotta talk about old stuff? Why we gotta talk about old stuff?
Hey, you missed it. Like, you missed like the first month and a half. Me and E-Ray was still kind of worried. Like, I don't know about this, man.
Y'all didn't sell me on the episodes, man, because I heard how hesitant y'all was. That's why I was like, E-Ray was watching, but he wasn't like positive about it.
When they introduced Tony D'Angelo and like he was just walking, talking about how his cousin was doing things, I was like, I don't know, man. Damn it, it worked. It worked so well.
That's why I can't hate too bad on it, man. All things considered, compared to what we thought it was about to be versus what we got, great product.
What we thought it was about to be was like, all right, you're about to really see the growing pains of some kids that aren't ready. But what we got was, again, for a whole year, consistently, week to week, the best wrestling program. Which, that's why Shawn got that promotion. That's why Trips is running everything now. You're like,
true, man. They built up talent too, man. Talent that was doing nothing on the main roster. And Mandy Rose, they gave Dolph Ziggler a shot of life again.
You know what's funny about you say talent that like wasn't doing anything, like NXT talent that wasn't doing anything. There, a couple of weeks before 2.0 started, remember Cameron Grimes was kind of in that thing with LA Knight about like being his butler.
Yes,
there's a scene in there where like LA Knight and Cameron Grimes are doing something like an auction or something. The other guys that are in the crowd at this auction are Bron Breakker, Carmelo Hayes, Tony D'Angelo, Grayson Waller, and Trick Williams.
Yikes.
Like, Trips was like the king of, hey, you're going to sit on the bench for a while you learn. And Vince, to his credit, was like, it's either shit or get off the pot. And like, you have to see some people grow up right in front of your eyes. Like, some guys, weren't ready. Von Wagner.
Still not ready.
But some guys were very ready. Carmelo fucking Hayes.
Yep.
Grayson Waller.
Yes.
I've never seen a wrestler occupy mind space in someone's head the way Grayson Waller does with J-Mo.
He gets so angry anytime his name is brought up. It's amazing, honestly.
Like guys out there, I want you to go back and like find the episode in which E-Ray and J-Mo were explaining to me why they hated Grayson Waller. And then I explained to both of them, like, you're being worked. And E-Ray got it immediately. It was like a light bulb went off in his head, and he's come over on Grayson Waller. Not J-Mo.
No,
J-Mo is consistently being worked by this guy in a way that I've never seen.
No, not an adult. No.
yeah, not an adult. Like, there becomes a moment in your life where you become a smart mark, where you realize this is all entertainment.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, okay, I appreciate this. Not J-Mo with Grayson Waller.
But I appreciate J-Mo's, like, just blind hate for this man. To not
It's
even
amazing.
see through the fact he's getting worked. He's just like, fuck Grayson Waller. He's a piece of shit. He can go to hell. I love it.
It's so
Like,
amazing. I'm like,
yes.
damn, this guy is like really good at his job.
Yes, man. You can to create that kind of heat amongst adults, special, man.
Amongst grown ass people.
Special. And then not even like cool heel heat, like hate, like heat. Like, it's amazing. You don't see that in 2020s wrestling. That's 80s.
No,
and
you
shit.
don't. You don't.
That's pretty impressive, man. So
I'm
yes,
telling you,
gotta
like, every time I
respect
watch
that.
Grayson Waller, I'm like, this guy is like really good at his job.
Yeah.
He's not as good
you gotta
at his
respect
job
it.
as Carmelo Hayes is.
Nah, who's gonna be on our USA Network on Mondays and Fox possibly on Fridays for sure.
Where would you put Hayes? Would you put him on Mondays or Fridays? I think I would put him on Mondays.
I was gonna lean more towards SmackDown, man. You say Mondays. I feel like SmackDown needs, and they've gotten better since Trips took over in the last couple months, but I feel like Raw's on another level since Trips took over, and SmackDown's playing catch up. And putting a talent like that will help them catch up with Raw more, because I feel like Raw's must-see TV now. You got to know what happened on Raw, and I feel like SmackDown used to be that type of way about maybe 6 months ago, maybe. Nothing recent. But yeah, I think that will help him give more people on that show. Maybe even have Carmelo go after the title on SmackDown against Solo. So you never know. Maybe they fight for the NA title. What?
I don't want to put him right there again with Solo.
Okay.
And then against the Bloodline.
Revisionist history.
Here's the thing: the Bloodline's not losing anything until they start to lose everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crumbling. It's gonna be like the Roman Empire, no pun intended.
Exactly.
When that fell.
And then what you don't want to do is you don't want to put Melo right there and then have him lose. You just don't. But if you put him on Raw, he can be another guy to talk shit to Austin Theory. He can be a guy to go at it with KO. Could you imagine a KO Carmelo Hayes match?
That would be quite amazing. You're selling me now. I see the vision. I see the vision.
Shit, Carmelo Hayes, Bobby Lashley, with the things Bobby Lashley can do strength-wise and just the pure athleticism of Melo.
The Kevin Owens intrigued me more than Bobby. I'm not going to cap. Kevin Owens, the promo work and the match work, because they complement each other so well in the ring, I would think. I would actually pay money to see that wrestling match. Not going to lie.
But yeah, no, so Melo, all the way ready. And like you were saying, they got other people back and they got them like to another level. Mandy's been doing a phenomenal job as champion.
Yes, night and day, man. And she wasn't a terrible talent on the main roster, but she's like
just there
to the moon now. I can't wait to see her on the main roster whenever that happens, because I know she's gonna go up there with hella swag, hella good energy. Ready to get in some good fucking feuds up there and put some respect on her name on the main roster. And the table is set for that. The main roster at a certain point, dude, when some females start coming back from taking vacations and hiatuses, it's gonna be must-see TV, bruh. Think about the women that aren't involved right now. I hate to get away from NXT, but I feel like this has to be addressed real quick.
I just want Sasha versus Meiko Satomura. I don't care how we get there.
You
can
might
book
get
it the way Tony Khan books things. Just whatever.
They're gonna create
Just
a title out of
Friday
thin
on
there and have them
SmackDown.
fight
I
for
don't
it.
fucking care. Yeah, like, I don't fucking care. Make it happen.
To my point, you got Charlotte at home. You got Naomi still at home. You got as
Becky's
far as
at home.
Yes, Becky. I didn't even forgot about my girl Becky. As far as ladies that could come up to NXT, that's you got the other part of Toxic Attraction that started to show their face. Gigi and JC.
Yep.
They're gonna start popping up there. To your point, Final Boss, she can be plugged in a match up there at any point in time. Or Sasha could be brought down for
fucking
that.
Lopez.
Oh yeah, whenever she gonna be making her main roster debut soon. I don't know about wrestling, but she gonna be there.
That's fine with me. Alexa Lopez can do whatever she wants. Totally fine with that. Totally fine.
So it's gonna be, the women's division is about to pop like crazy on the main roster. But back to NXT, as we're giving them their well-deserved flowers here for this year anniversary of 2.0. Cameron Grimes, man. I was shocked to see Melo get called up before Grimes. I thought Grimes would have got called up first, in all honesty. Are you shocked by that?
Like, if you were to tell me that, like, around the time that Grimes had the North American title, yes, I would be shocked. But now, I'm kind of thinking Cameron Grimes is just part of that roster.
Really? That's shocking, man. I think he's ready for I think he's gonna be.
I know. I thought he was ready for it too. Like when he lost the North American title again.
Right.
And then when he lost to Bron Breakker, I thought when he lost to Bron Breakker, you was just gonna see him on Friday. But since they did move him up and they're doing another thing with him, I'm like, maybe he's just here. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because for a long time,
not to knock it off.
We assume with Johnny and Tommaso, shit, Pete Dunne too, that okay, they're just there. They're clearly not going anywhere. They're just there.
And you got guys like Tommaso would say it as much like I don't ever want to wrestle on the main roster. I'll retire before. I think he said he would retire before he went up there, correct? I feel like I heard him say that before.
That was more of him saying I don't want to wrestle for Vince, for being honest.
Which I get it, yeah, but he said it. Words are words, and he said them. So
yeah, but like
regardless.
But like that was just kind of a thing. But like I think to Triple H's point, since he always wanted to make this a third legit brand, that's why he's bringing guys down, not necessarily down, I guess across. If it's a legit third brand, you have to have guys who are just there.
Yep.
I think Cameron Grimes is gonna be one of those guys that's just there.
I can't disagree with that after seeing like what's been happening the last couple of weeks. It's been pretty, like you said, he's in whole another storyline right now. I thought he would have been up on the main roster, like doing something else. I don't know what, but not what he's doing at NXT. So you may be right, Doug.
I thought the same thing with Giovanni Vinci before they pulled him back up into Imperium. I thought he was going to be a guy that was just going to be there. But then, Papa Triple H comes back and says, no, I designed Imperium to be a 3-man thing.
Yep.
Get your ass over to Cardiff. And damn it, we got Imperium back.
There we go.
Which makes me a happy guy. Where do you think, so as we've just kind of talked glowingly about them, let's shit on them a little bit, BA. Where did they struggle?
Outside of the stuff we've already mentioned.
Outside of Von Wagner.
Yes, I think the biggest elephant in the room on this subject is Bron Breakker. His whole booking has been low-key a cluster because it's really hard to have people go into feuds with him because he has to squash them. And it's talent that he shouldn't be squashing immediately. In my opinion, mostly the people that he's fought. Some people justify, like I think him going over on a Joe Gacy, I can get over, especially the way they played that feud up. But other folks like a Cameron Grimes, a Tommaso Ciampa, a Dolph, and I'm sure there's other people out there too that you can name, but that's just that's where you get problematic. That's where you get in the Goldberg territory by booking a guy like that. And that's not even the fault of the people running the show now. That's more just Vince falling in love with a big, fast, and strong guy that has the look and the pedigree. I get it. He hits all the markers. But in the same fact of that, dude ain't ready at all to be on anybody's main event roster, to be having any sort of banger matches for any sort of valuable title. So that's just one place that they've messed up pretty bad as far as 2.0 and how they've kind of tried to build up that whole NXT title picture for the men. That's a big one, I'd say, to start. But what's your biggest sticking point, Dub?
The NXT women's tag team division as a whole. It didn't feel like a division as much as it felt like line up a challenger for Gigi and JC, and then Gigi and JC knock them down.
Yo, it's E-Ray, the quasi-bad guy, the Diet Coke of evil, the side god of pod, and I'm here to tell y'all, come check out my show, Binge Flicks and Chill. You never know what you're going to get, but we always talking some good shit when it comes to television and the latest movies. So we want to bring y'all in. We want to make sure you have a good time. You learn something, you laugh, you cry, you might stab a nigga or two. I don't know what you're going to get, but that shit is popping. So come check out Binge Flicks and Chill. And it's me, E-Ray, and I'm out.
Yeah. Lots of random chicks coming together.
They need to do a better job of sitting a bunch of girls down and saying, yo, so the solo thing, that's not going to be you for a while. You're going to be in this team. Figure it out, make it work, coordinate some colors, start, working on team moves, all of that stuff. Start hanging out more and get a feel for each other because you are a team.
Yes.
Because that's what they did with the Profits. Because Angelo Dawkins had tried 35 different gimmicks. And Montez Ford was just a guy who was really athletic. So they put them together as a team and say, hey, you guys are a tag team now. And then they started cutting vignettes backstage, and they were cutting vignettes for months before they ever stepped in the ring together. And so by the time they got in the ring together, you felt like this was a team. You're like, oh shit, this is a team. These guys gel together. They know each other. They're cool. Yeah. And even before they had tag team maneuvers they would do together, they felt like a team. So to me, that was one of their struggles. Bron Breakker, obviously, we booked somebody to beat him every single week.
Even half of J-Mo, yes.
Yeah. J-Mo with no legs somehow is going to beat Bron Breakker for the world title.
Oh, man.
I thought there were some messy call-ups.
To NXT or to the main roster from NXT?
To the main roster.
Okay.
The way Pete Dunne went out.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. The way Tommaso went out, I wasn't fully on board.
They gave him his flowers though on his way out the door. They clapped him out. But against Tony D'Angelo, but it kind of tells me that Tony D'Angelo, to go back to Cameron Grimes, is probably going to be a guy that's in NXT for a long time because they let him beat Ciampa. And I can see a guy like that being in an NXT for a long time and not coming up to
Tony
the main
D'Angelo
roster.
Was just the guy that was sending people up to the main roster in the sky. LA Knight, Pete Dunne, Tommaso Ciampa,
Yes.
Santos Escobar.
Yes.
Every time somebody went against Tony D'Angelo in a legit feud, they got sent to the main roster in the sky.
Yes, they did.
And the dyad, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm sure there was two other guys back there you could have put there. The Grizzled Young Veterans were one of the coolest tag teams in all of wrestling.
And shout out to the Godfather in the Addams family of wrestling. My uncle, he was an NXT guy. He brings this up to me every time we talk about NXT. He was just like, "Why did they make GYV do this dumb gimmick?" I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like he really loved them dudes. He reminded They reminded him of like old school tag team wrestling, not even like what FTR be on, like old school just flippity floppity stuff. And he loved that shit. So I agree with you, man. That's more Vince trying to put characters on people because he did that.
Yeah,
straight up trying to create a new Ministry of Darkness with Joe Gacy. It seemed.
Yeah, and there's some real start stops with Joe Gacy. Like, I don't think they leaned in enough with like the positivity thing that he was trying to do. Mm-hmm. They just tried to make him creepy. Yeah.
Like
there was a way to do it to where you're like, what's going on? Like, what's with this guy? And I think part of the way to do it is not to have two fucking youth pastors with him, but to give him like 5 or 6 guys who like had their own different personalities, but they still had that Joe Gacy like positivity, like almost on some like, I can't think of the movie, Pleasantville type shit where everybody's smiling, but you're like, that's not real.
Yeah,
like,
I see what you're saying.
Something weird about that. Like, that's not real.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
I agree.
That might be me getting too deep into the weeds, but
I would disagree, but I try. That's you call it getting too much into the weeds. I just call it Vince doing Vince shit, and Vince being what they described him to be as at this stage in his career once stuff about Vince started coming out a few months ago. So I think that's just Vince trying to tap into something he knew that worked 25 years ago and thought that him trying to put that on Gacy and GYV as far as that whole darkness and ministry vibe and kind of that toxic positivity, to call it what it, with lack of a better term for it, to try to get those guys over. But GYV was already over, and Joe Gacy was just this creepy like John Wayne Gacy type of guy. So I don't know.
Joe Gacy gets it. He's good, but I think they missed the mark of like where they could have gone with that to make it so much better.
Because Bron Breakker squashed all of it. That's why.
Yeah.
It's hard to come back after Bron squashes you.
I mean, I know how huge of a Bron Breakker fan you are, but what was the best storyline of this NXT 2.0 run? What are you thinking? I know what mine is.
What popped me the most? Let's think here. I know one thing pops up initially. This might be your answer, so sorry in advance. But the fucking Gang Wars.
NXT Gang Wars.
It's so entertaining. It reminded me of the Gang Wars of old, of the late 90s.
It was in the infancy of the Attitude Era.
Yes, it was fun. It was a good time. To the point where it kicked that man Santos out of NXT. That's how hard it went.
People were getting kidnapped.
Yeah,
getting jumped. Like, I think that's kind of when NXT really turned the corner for me. I was like, wait, we just snatching motherfuckers off the street? I said, oh, okay. They restoring the feeling. I know what this is like. I'm all in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
they was taking crowbars to each other and brass knuckles and still having banger-ass matches. Bro. I was like, this is it. This is it.
That storyline was a fun one. And I honestly, like, another one doesn't stick out to me as far as giving me the feels of something that mattered outside of Dolph fighting Bron, as strangely enough as we were just kind of shitting on him. Dolph was fun to watch. Dolph, like I said, this whole 2.0 run he had in the spring, like, kind of rejuvenated his career for a little bit, putting him back on that main map. No, he hasn't, because it's how they be doing Dolph. But I feel like he wants it that way so he can go do his comedy thing. So, yeah, that whole feud with him and bringing Bobby Roode back out from the dumpsters of the WWE, out of catering, so to speak. Yeah, that was a fun rivalry for me. So NXT Gang Wars is 1A, Bron v. Ziggs 1B.
Not mad at that.
What about you?
Yeah, Gang Wars is number 1 for me.
Yep.
And then probably number 2 Number 2 has got to be just, the war of the gangs.
Isn't that like the same thing?
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I'm like the biggest Santos Escobar fan in the world. I think that man is just main event, just ready. Yeah. So BA, you touched on it already. I want you to keep touching on it like a creepy uncle.
Uh-oh.
Who's going to beat Bron Breakker?
Damn it. This is going to be tough. Oh, I feel like some Jeopardy music should be playing behind me, J-Mo. Damn, dude. Outside of somebody from the main roster getting called down to do the job, brother, I don't see anybody going over on him. I don't. And if they do, Strong maybe. I don't see that either. Because where do you go with that outside of them wrestling each other 5 different times and Bron coming out at the top anyway? So that's why I'm just
Von
like,
Wagner?
Unless they want to get Bron Breakker hurt, I don't think that ain't happening. Maybe. All right. This is why we fantasy book, folks. All right, hear me out, Doug.
Okay.
We got the monster among men floating around SmackDown. He just shows up. His music just plays, and we got Bron Breakker versus Braun Strowman for the NXT title. That's like the only person I could see realistically putting over a guy that's been booked like Bron Breakker is a guy that's booked as, quote, the monster among men. That's the only person I could see, though. And that's a reach. So, yeah.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm not gonna pick anybody that we've picked before. But here we go. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Grayson Waller.
Ooh, okay. All right. I'm here for that. Cause get your heel champ.
The only person that's over enough to put a belt on to main event your show.
And
it just makes sense to me.
And to piggyback on that, it would counter program what we called earlier happening in AEW by them putting the title on their biggest heel. This would just be another slight at AEW. We're going to put our developmental heel as our head main champ just to show y'all how much y'all don't matter. Is that we just going to show y'all how much better our developmental heel is better than your best heel. So, yes, I could definitely see that happening.
It works even better if you give Grayson Waller a heavy again, like Sango was for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Commander Aziz, aka Bambatunde, he's not doing anything right now. They're trying him out with Cora Jade, but I don't know if they're gonna end up doing that or not.
I haven't seen him with her for the last couple of weeks. I think that might have just been a 1 week trial.
Well, they were only doing it on house shows because they were trying it out. Because BA, if you ever get a chance, if they ever put NXT really back on the road again, go to an NXT house show because that's where they try shit out that isn't on TV yet.
And we can get kind of some fantasy booking ideas from that shit.
Yep.
I'm sure.
But if I were booking it and I wasn't booking anybody else that has challenged already, and I don't know what they're gonna do with Gallus because I think Gallus is main roster ready.
They might be though. Did they show their faces this week? Oh, you there's no allegedly in that, but did they show their face this week? I don't think they did on NXT, right?
No, I don't think they did. No.
They might be main roster ready because think about the tag teams that are up there. There's none.
Mm-hmm.
For real. Especially with Riddle and Randy Orton not being a thing anymore. That's one more down.
Yep. So, I don't see them putting the belt on Joe Gacy.
No.
I don't see them putting the belt on Tony D'Angelo.
No.
But that Grayson Waller kid. Oh. And you can line up babyface after babyface.
Yep.
If you want to get somebody over, send them across from Grayson Waller. They'll get over.
Yeah. That's fair.
He will get them over.
He'll help out Bron. It'll help out Bron for sure. I can't knock that.
Yeah, because Bron won't have to do any of the heavy lifting on the microphone.
Yes, exactly. And it'll make him look like more of a face by having to deal with
he can sink into
like
that John Cena type role of just being a guy that you're supposed to cheer for, even if you don't want to, because this other guy is such a fucking asshole.
Right. Yep.
Because
John
John Cena
perfectly.
John Cena is like a real he's a real Batman type of guy. Like, I mean, you cheer for Batman, but the villains are always the more interesting characters. John Cena is that.
Yes.
The villains are way more interesting, but you end up cheering for John because the villains are so bad.
True.
You're like, damn, the Joker's a much cooler character than Batman, but the Joker also shot Barbara Gordon. So you're like, can't really cheer for that guy.
Yeah, but when I get that side of it for sure.
So there we go, J-Mo. If you're listening, Grayson Waller is your next NXT champion after Bron Breakker.
His head might explode.
Oh, we might have to do a live pod. We're going to have to do like a live pod after Grayson Waller wins that title.
Oh yeah, I think we might have to, seriously. That might be a very, very special episode for sure.
All right, BA, is there anything else you want to give the people on our 2.0 anniversary?
I think we should talk about the fact that they're erasing the whole 2.0 thing and bringing back the black and gold.
Oh,
we didn't even bring that up.
All right. I was hoping you'd bring this up.
Yes, sir.
Does the logo change and the going back to the black and gold or the black, white, and gold, does that make NXT 2.0 the greatest one and done in history?
I mean, I can't call it a true one and done because it's not like the promotion is vanishing or something. Like they were here for a year, had a great time, and now they out.
Yeah, because Ben Simmons did at college, had a great time, then he was out.
Yeah, if you want to call that a great time, I could argue he probably is mad that he's not good at something else in life that he can make the same amount of money for. But that's a whole nother show, a whole nother podcast.
What the fuck else is he gonna make $100 million for?
He's trying to figure that out, Dub. Don't you worry, because he hates playing basketball. I can tell you that much. Anyways, I don't think that. I mean, I guess so. From a booking standpoint, you are 100% correct. The greatest one and done ever. From going from the OG bookers to some new guys, as far as the old heads running the show and the old heads getting pushed out back to the guys that originally ran it. So. Yeah, booking wise, one and done, best one and done ever. But from a NXT standpoint, it's still NXT. I feel like it was still, even though we didn't see those colors, the black and gold resonated in those talents because of how they wrestled, how they performed on a weekly basis. I think we're just going to have to wait and see as far as if we're going to really see a big difference between 2.0 and this incarnation in this version of the new black and gold. But it also begs me to differ to bring this whole show full circle. Will we get some of the cornerstones of the black and gold to come back to just the black and gold, with that being said, so they can have just their cornerstone wrestlers like an Adam Cole, like a Kyle O'Reilly, like a Bobby Fish, like a Roddy Strong, who's already there. That's all I'm saying.
What if LA Knight goes back and takes that title off of Bron Breakker?
I'm here for that. That's a man.
Yeah.
I hate that I have to agree with you on that, because he set the stage for that on Friday, talking about something about a new night, talking to his model homies. So I think Max Dupree is about to be dead and LA Knight's going to rise from the ashes. But going back to NXT, the fight for the NXT title, going off in a promo, man.
Here's why they can't do it. Here, I booked it for you, but here's why they can't do it.
Why can't they do that, Dub?
All that talent is too green. All of it.
What do you mean, in NXT?
He's too good on the mic. He's too good in the ring.
But why would that be a bad thing, though?
Who's he going to feud with?
He's going to make guys better. Like, LA Knight's not a rook. Like, he's down there
he can't make Bron Breakker better.
In the ring, maybe, but not on the mic. He was just
That's what I'm saying.
embarrassing him. He would kind of John Cena him.
He'll be
how
down
Roman-
there and he'll make the rest of the talent look developmental.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, but
Like when he was there at the end of the black and gold, it was perfect. Johnny was there, Tommaso was there, Pete Dunne was there, Adam Cole was there. Like it was perfect because you had guys that were like, if not at his level, damn near close or just above. Like,
but you
look at the black and
speaking,
a lot of the guys at the top of the black and gold were not developmental. Keith Lee was not a developmental talent. Neither was Karrion Kross, Samoa Joe. All those guys.
Disagree with that. But what I will,
kids that are there now, developmental.
Correct.
LA Knight, he shines when talking to those kids.
This is kind of almost to compliment your point about the one and done you mentioned, because by
Except
this being the black, with this being the black and gold again, I think that you can do that kind of stuff. Maybe LA Knight's one of the first veterans you bring back, but you start re-signing veterans to come back, not for Raw and SmackDown, unless Trips is trying to fix some wrongs that were done by them if they got called up too early. They go to NXT and they be cornerstones of that show. That's what I think you see, where they treat that like a Ring of Honor. How like AEW's kind of treating it. There I go again, giving AEW some flowers. Crazy, twice in the show. But they treat it like that to where it's this promotion that matters, and we're bringing guys that aren't rookies to this promotion because our rookies wrestle on NXT Level Up. So maybe that's the direction they go, because they didn't have Level Up in the OG Black and Gold.
Yeah, they did. It was 205 Live.
That's bullshit. That was all cruiserweights on 205 Live.
No, it wasn't. Not towards the end.
Really? I wasn't watching at the end. I can give you that.
At the
I was
end,
not watching at the end.
One of the last matches had Odyssey Jones in it, and he's 305 Live.
I was about to say, yeah, for sure, 405 shit, but yes,
yeah, like,
yes.
But no, I think what you're gonna see, like, you're gonna see kind of a revert. I think you're gonna see a blend of the two going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're gonna see these kids, but then you're gonna see some more guys who their job is just go out there and be great. You know, get your shit in. You know, get your shit off.
I can see it,
but again, that's why you can't bring an LA Knight in there, because he's so far and ahead above everybody that's going to be on that show that it'll make him look developmental. And Trips doesn't, even though it is developmental, appearance is reality, right?
Yes,
he doesn't want to appear that way.
Correct.
He doesn't want to appear that way. And
right.
Also, if you can't bring him back now because Bron's not losing that belt until he gets called up.
Yes, it's the only way he can.
And as me and you both said, not ready.
He's a year away, max, as far as a minimum, a year away. He has to sit there for a whole nother year before they consider bringing him up.
And a year gives you enough time to build Grayson into like a main event heel.
Mm-hmm.
You see, goddamn, I'm good at booking this shit.
Hire him, WWE. Just give him a goddamn writing job. You just gonna fire him in 2 years anyways. Let that man live.
Yeah, just give me my two. Give me my two and I'm out. And I'm gonna write a book about it.
Hell yeah. Tell all book. Don't sign no NDAs on the way out. But yes, that's all I got as far as talkable points this week in wrestling, which I'm not mad at. This has been on one of our quieter weeks.
Thank God.
Yeah, man.
Thank God. Because if y'all don't know, we've been trying to do like a retrospective, look to the past episode for two fucking months now.
Yes. All this quantum leaping I've been doing for y'all motherfuckers, this ain't just for me. This shit hurts, y'all. That shit hurts my head when I go be jumping into these different time slots and time.
You thought BA wanted to be back in your house 95? No.
Right.
He got kids at home.
Exactly, man. I wasn't trying to watch that. It was fun, again, watching it and hanging out with the fellas in the back and hanging out and catering. Food in the 90s was different, but food in the 90s was fun. But
purple ketchup.
The green ketchup, though. Yes, those are things, children. Those are things. But yes, we've been trying to talk just retro any wrestling for the last 2 months. But Vince and Punk and the Bucks and Tony and all the crew, the current event crew as we call them, have been taking over our airways. But we hope to bring very similar discussions like this to you guys in the future, just around great times in wrestling, like our illustrious Attitude Era, or getting into the Super Cena run and that kind of stuff, or talking about the OG Summer of Punk. More to come on this stuff, y'all. So hope y'all like it.
Anytime there's a slower pay-per-view, like basically most pay-per-views I don't think Roman's going to show up for, i.e. Extreme Rules and TLC, because the Tribal Chief is not doing hardcore matches.
Nah, man.
We're going to try to hit y'all. Yeah, we're going to try to hit y'all with some, some retrospective on this great sport that we call professional wrestling. And, but that being said, hold on a minute, player. Teddy Long turned 75 today.
Oh, shit. Shout out to Teddy Long, man.
Shout out to Teddy Long, man.
Yes.
One of the greatest SmackDown GMs of all time.
Yes, man. I'd say the greatest. The swag he carried, the suits, the one-liners, the Undertaker, all of that stuff made his whole just use
the Undertaker as like his personal bully.
Oh yeah, man.
You said what? Oh, guess what? You gotta go one-on-one with the Undertaker, player.
Yes, my parenting skills, because I do similar tactics with my children to get them to do things. I don't threaten the Undertaker. I'll just say I'm going to take a stuffed animal or something if they don't listen to me. But I'm like, hey, it all started when I was a youngin', when I would cut on SmackDown and see whoever pissed off Teddy Long going one-on-one with the Undertaker, or in a handicap match with the Undertaker, or a steel cage match with the Undertaker.
So when your kids are getting rowdy, do you ever look at them and say, hold on a minute, player?
I don't, but I will now, just for that.
Stop acting up before I take Mr. Wiggles away.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yep, Bunny's coming with me. Hold on, player. Not tonight. Because that bunny is coming with me if you do not listen.
It. I love it.
Yeah, shout out to Teddy Long.
If I ever see a video of you yelling at Journey to hold on a minute, player, and take a bunny away, I might die laughing.
Y'all kind of heard it tonight.
I might die laughing.
So I came in so hot on E-Ray, I was juiced up. I was like, what the fuck is going on in here? So yes, my apologies, E-Ray. That was that dad hostility leaking into the airwaves.
That dad heel off. That's what it was.
I got to heel out sometimes, drop of a dime like MJF, and then come in here and nice guy it up. It's tough, man.
All right, BA, drop your socials on the people and let's get up out of here.
We about to be out. Y'all already know y'all can follow me at nowhere because I have no social media, but you can follow this illustrious, amazing, record-making, stupendous podcast at Let Me Book Pod on Twitter. Do we have an IG page, Dub? Or no? I can't. I don't know. I don't be looking.
Let Me Book the Territory on IG.
Well, there we go. Follow us on IG.
I gotta get more active on it.
I don't be running that one. The Twitter I be on, but once high school coach, football coach BA hangs up his whistle at the end of this season, maybe I'll help out Dub with that. Who knows? But for now, I know that you can come follow us on Twitter at Let Me Book Pod, where we are always talking about the most current of current events in wrestling, retweeting all the funny stuff. Dub out here getting followers every day. So yes, come follow us there, and then you can't follow me anywhere because I have no social medias again. So yes,
there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom.
If you guys are looking for me, every Tuesday I'm at the Embrace the Turn Up podcast with the homie John, talking cash shit about everything. Episode 2 of the greatest sports debate show of all time, Nah Fam, with my homie Tare, is up now on the Embrace the Turn Up YouTube page. Go check that out.
Go follow it.
Go follow that. The homie E-Ray is at Inaudible Ruckus. New episodes every Friday on that bad boy.
Release every Saturday.
Excuse me, every Saturday. Record on Fridays. That's right. My bad, Lo. Every Saturday.
I got you, producer.
Follow that. I appreciate you, buddy. Next week, guys, I don't know if we'll have the full band or most of the band or part of the band back together. E-Ray is running from the NXT parking lot right now to Spectrum to make sure the internet is all wired in so he can jack back into the Matrix. J-Mo might have burned down a Walmart by the time you guys hear this.
Yep. Quotes from him earlier today.
So he'll be on the run from the feds.
Yep.
But me and BA will be here for you.
We'll be here.
And
We'll
next
talk
week,
about.
We're definitely going to talk about the PWI 100 because it's out.
And who's going to bail out J-Mo, and what do you think his bond's going to be set at for setting a Walmart on fire?
There it is.
Who's
And excuse me, PWI 500. We're going to go through all 500 wrestlers on it. No, I'm kidding.
What is this? The Wrestling Observer? Like, what are we doing here?
Oh, man. No, yeah. We're gonna talk about the PWI 500 just a little bit. We're not gonna get too deep into the weeds.
Top 10.
No, we'll go top 20. We'll go
Top 20? All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
We'll
go
dig
top
into
20.
it. We're going to cut into that a little more.
Yeah, you know, and then I think next week should be our Extreme Rules preview.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, until next week, guys, remember that wrestling is everything and everything is wrestling. And when you see us out, just hit us with that too sweet. And with that being said, we out.
Peace.